Okay, cool. Hey, we're live now. Oh, huh, weird.
Here comes David.
There it is. David here already? All right.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Hey, Dave.
How are you?
All righty.
Okay.
Over here, slide it over and pop it in there.
What's for third meal today, Paul?
I'm having macaroni and cheese.
Ah,
Macaroni and cheese today.
that sounds good.
Leftovers from last night.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Justin.
Hey, just
Yeah, I tried to stay in this morning, but fucking that neighborhood I was in didn't have good reception.
Yeah, it just kept breaking up. Yep.
Yep,
Hey, guess who's first, Paul?
Hey, Marshall.
Marshall is first.
hey, Marshall.
Well, you know what the really screwed up part about that too, Paul, though?
What's
Is
that?
it's a housing complex with like 3,000 houses in it. Massive. Right outside of a major city, and there's no cell reception worth a crap in there.
Wow.
You would think there it could because it's a really high-end vacation. What it
Those
is
people
all
got it. Those people got to be pissed.
all the and what it is it's a neighborhood of houses, but it's all vacation homes. So they're rentals. People rent them out and vacation there, and they're all owned by a couple of companies,
Ah.
and they're just rental homes. So you always run into new people all the time in there.
Oh, Marshall's having corned beef with carrots and potatoes for dinner.
Oh, that sounds good.
Not a big fan of corned beef. It's all right.
Yeah, you sure wouldn't want to rent out a place down there and find out you got no cell service.
Well, I'm sure all the houses have Wi-Fi inside of them for use your phones and computers, but just you have to drive about a mile outside of the neighborhood to get any kind of cell reception. Like you get it, but it's just so sparse. Like even to pull the GPS up, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, how's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope.
Doing good.
Good of mine.
Has it been hot there, Dave?
81 degrees out right now.
Yeah, it's 82 here.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I was I think high of like 90, 91 today. Yeah.
Yeah, she was warm one here today.
Boy, that's something to see what happened down there in Florida with the flooding.
What flooding? I didn't hear about no flooding.
You didn't hear
Yes,
about
I'm
any flooding down there?
I guess it just wasn't close enough to me for me to hear anything about it.
Paul, where was that in Florida?
I
Uh,
must have.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale flooded.
I heard
Yeah.
something about
They got
Fort Lauderdale.
24 inches of rain there in 24 hours.
And they had to close the airport.
The airport was
Yeah.
flooded, looked like a lake, and
And the
people were
schools.
swimming in the streets.
They let the schools out.
The well,
Oh,
it was-
yeah.
the funny report was today the bus trolleys at the airport, the water was raising so high somebody pulled up the theme for the Titanic and was playing it.
But see, this is why I probably wouldn't have. Well, I haven't really been watching anything since last night, so I didn't really hear nothing about it. But see, I'm right here in Fort Lauderdale's all the way down here. But see, the problem is this whole area here is they're having to raise the streets and everything by a couple feet every year just to keep up with the rise of the water.
Water level going up.
Yeah. And all these cities down here are just everywhere you go, there's water pumps everywhere. City water
Where
pumps
you
hooked
at,
into
Justin?
everything. I'm all the way up here
Oh,
in
okay.
Winter Haven, but Fort Lauderdale's way
Oh.
down here by Miami.
Winter Haven's first place I ever went, Florida. First place I ever stopped.
Yeah, see, Winter Haven's like right dead center, long and widthways. So it's like right here. So we're dead center in the fat part of it. But yeah, like this whole area though, like I said, this whole area has issues with flooding all the time. Like if you drive through the cities down there, there's water, city and county water pumps everywhere. Just, you know, those big industrial water pumps that they use to pump out areas. They're
Uh-huh.
just there all the time running because they have a problem with that. So it doesn't surprise me. What's up, Dominic?
Evening.
Just snuck in like a
Hey, Dominic.
Yeah, just thought I'd
Yeah.
sneak in.
creeped in like a cat, just
Yeah.
quiet.
How's it going, Dominic?
Yeah, I'm all right. I can't be on for long today. Got a couple of things I need to do this morning, sadly.
Uh,
It'll be a long day.
ugh. Yeah, I finished all my paperwork up
Oh, that's good to hear.
yesterday, so I just went and did meter reading all day today.
Oh, great.
Went to Davenport because all the papers there are all new neighborhoods, and I just walked down each street to do that. Some of the
Mhm.
older cities, the houses and addresses are all spread out everywhere, so they take a lot longer.
Okay.
I'm trying to bust out all the easy shit and get it out of the way first.
It's always the way.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of corned beef, but if somebody makes it, I'll eat it. Oh.
I like cabbage and corned beef.
Well, personally, I won't go out of my way to make it, but if somebody
No.
makes it, I'll eat it.
If it's easily made, yeah, but I'm not going to go and make the corned beef myself. But if it's already cut or you find it at the deli section, yeah,
I didn't really start liking, like cabbage and what's the other one? Like,
I mean, even this would be, we'd be covering this as a severe
you
storm.
put
with
on hot
flash
dogs.
flooding, even if we hadn't had the epic event that
Sauerkraut.
we had yesterday. But on
Yeah.
top of that,
yeah,
I mean, this is just
Until I got older.
it's to watch because
Yeah.
I know what that water is doing, where it's going, and the fact that it's flooding additional neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods that maybe we're starting to see the water recede a little bit now, you're getting dumped on with another several inches of water, and that's going to continue for about another 2 hours before we begin to improve. This is not going to continue 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, Elliot and I were here, you know, getting ready for the evening, and all of a sudden I was telling Elliot, we got to watch this cell. It is not moving, it is not spinning, and that's when they issued the flash flood emergency, which I've been doing this 30 years, and I've only covered a few because they are so exceptionally rare. That is reserved by the National Weather Service for this kind of event, 1 in 1,000 year flood event.
Well, Ivan, before you go, what's the best case scenario? Let's say that we do get an additional 4 inches of rain tonight in Fort Lauderdale, which is going to be horrendous. But what's the best case scenario for Friday? That we have a sunny day, we have a cloudy day. Obviously, we don't want rain.
Things are going to change tomorrow, so we are still going to, you know, forecast a few thunderstorms in the afternoon. But again, it's all about where the storms develop, what kind of environment. And tomorrow's environment, atmospherically, is not going to be today's. So we're not expecting this kind of weather. We're not expecting severe thunderstorms in the afternoon as everything begins to pull northeast. You know, and we can talk about it plenty later, but it's that low that we've been looking at in the Gulf that is now pushing up to the north and east, dragging this front across, and that once it happens through tonight, we'll be in much better shape. There'll be still residual moisture, and each afternoon. Remember, we got those with the first storm we got last year. We had Alex. It will eventually became Alex and dumped all that rain on us. The following week, we were raining every day, kind of a typical rain, but each day exacerbated the situation. So because of the water that we have on the ground. So to answer your question, yeah, tonight, after tonight, we'll be in much better shape, and I'm not expecting, to be forecasting 2 or 4 inches of rain each afternoon.
We just got to get rid of this water. All right.
Yeah, I know. And one of the areas that's thank you, Ivan, being impacted right now, Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Executive Airport. That's where we find Joan right now. Joan, wow, how things changed in an hour when we last saw you.
Like, why do you even have an umbrella? That ain't doing nothing.
Oh my gosh, Maribel,
in
we
wind
have
like
been
that.
looking all day, and now you can see we're really getting slammed. Wind, rain. I'm barely holding on to my umbrella, and I have to plant my feet on the ground. It is getting so bad. Our life
Like,
is
here's an
so
idea. Stand inside of a building with a window.
Yeah,
Like, do you have to stand outside in it?
obviously they have to.
Hollywood
I think
International,
it's
which is
silly
now
because we've got a
24 hours.
we've got our own issues. We've got a cyclone off the coast of Western Australia.
That is what it's
I'm
looking
just
like out
waiting for
there.
the reporters
Just
to
an
be
hour ago, we were
standing
saying
in
that
the
things
middle
were
of the
looking
cyclone just to show
that
people
was
that there is
looking
a
like the
cyclone.
tarmac,
All
the
right.
airfield was clearing a little bit.
Like that
but,
dude on CNN that was pretending it was
now
Will
we
Wendy.
see rain
The 2
coming
guys
Yeah.
went walking behind
And
him
the two
like
guys
that.
walking past.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
We certainly do not need any more rain. As we've been reporting, the rain here that came down nearly 2 feet of rain in just a 24-hour period flooded the airport. It is a foot to several feet out. And
Oh, those wheels barely have any water underneath them. Get back out
Yeah,
there.
exactly. 2 foot of rain.
Completely saturated. They're completely at the brink.
Give me a break.
But
Where's the
things
2
were
foot of
improving
rain?
a little bit, but this current
You
rainfall
can see the wheels on those.
12 inches, 60
Now, Mayor
centimeters.
Lamar Fisher was here
600
earlier.
mil.
We spoke to him about his optimism, his view on whether the airport may open at 5 in the morning tomorrow, and here's what he had to say.
Our airport is now, of course, continuing to be shut down. We are hoping and praying that we'll be able to open up tomorrow morning. Both runways, of course, as you can see behind me, are still underwater. Some of those signs are actually 5 feet. So you can see just barely them coming out of the water. So you can see and notice the
I didn't see any of that, did you?
From that. Unfortunately, we have to have patience. We have to have nature takes its course because we have nowhere to pump this water at. If we had the pumps available to us, we have.
I'll start sending it to Arizona and Nevada.
Yeah.
But we don't have the
Yeah,
ability
bottle it
to-
up and send it over.
All right, there you go.
And nothing that you can snap your fingers
Oh,
and
there's
can
some rain.
happen instantly. So at this point, this current
See, that's all water out there.
this current rainstorm we're
Those
experiencing
are the
right
runs.
now,
It's just
certainly
hard to see though,
situation
because they
that
have
can
to
only
stand outside and get their lenses extremely
quickly,
soaked.
that won't be added
Instead of just
to
looking
what
through the big
we've
bay
already
windows that they have in the airport.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted,
Best
we'll
place
be
to
back
watch it.
again, within the hour to let you know how the situation is.
I was
Back to
hoping
you.
they'd give us
Joan
some
Murray reporting
footage
from the airport.
downtown.
This is
That's where-
terrible. This is adding insult to injury after all the hard work, and they were making some progress. To see this is so.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it sure is. And our team coverage continues with CBS News.
That's a
Miami,
glorified
Dallas,
mud-
she's in
puddle right there.
Hollywood, And the floodwaters
Yeah.
receding there where you're
That's
at.
a
It looks
puddle.
a little better.
Hey, Maribel and Elliot. Yeah, it is getting a little bit better, but within the last 5 minutes, the rain has started to come down, which is a concern because as you can see right behind me, this is John B. Kozer Park. This little playground absolutely flooded by the rainwaters. You could just see how deep it is. If you take a look over here, you could just see, look at my boots. I mean, this is how deep we're talking about. And forget about the socks, the feet. It's everything's wet. And if you just take a look over here, you can see that it has receded a bit from where we were earlier, and this white car that we see over here, this has been stranded here for the last 2 hours that we've been here. And it's not like where Joan is right now at the Fort Lauderdale airport. It's
Why is it stranded? What? There's no water underneath it.
rain here now too.
Must be
That's
electric
the
then.
situation. We see cars still trying to get by.
They must have run
here
out of
in
power.
West Hollywood neighborhood.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a
just
lot of
like
water.
We cannot let up from this
Uh-oh.
rain. Mother
The
Nature
trucks are
is
gonna get stuck.
bent on
Yeah.
getting the rain down here in South Florida, and we could just see this is a golf course. This is just a grassy
People are
area.
just like, fuck my car, and they just walked off and left it in a little puddle.
deep waters
Yeah.
here, even though it is receding.
I think
this
they just
rain
It's
wanted it.
obviously because it's a runoff.
or any of the
What
neighbors
what
that
it is I think they were
we're
hoping they were
that
going to get an
everything
insurance for it.
clears up rather quickly. But for now, I'm
So they
going to
were like, "Well, just leave it here, and maybe it'll get flooded
Yeah.
out."
Adam McAllister, CBS
Busted.
News, Miami.
Yeah, I don't know about it clearing up. You may be about to get hit harder as that storm moves towards the east, but we'll keep monitoring. Anna, thank you for the update. And CBS News Miami's live team coverage continues.
What's up, JDS?
Alert Day. Serious
Hey,
situation.
JDS.
Stay with
Yes.
us.
JDS.
Hello, I'm Grant Smith, owner of the Grant Smith Health Insurance Agency.
Well, apparently, JDS, that's all it would have took to strand somebody's car in the middle of the highway.
Yeah.
There was not, like I said, there was nothing there. That car
Well,
was just sitting there.
one of the stations had it on where the water was like 8 feet deep in the middle of the retail
Hey,
district.
Brad.
And there was a guy swimming like this.
What's up, Brad?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, and here's what you get a chuckle at. The FBI has made a warning to everybody that has electric vehicles that you should not use public charging stations because they find that they're hacking them and they're taking all of your information and your credit card information.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they've been doing that shit at the gas pumps for years.
Yep.
That's why whenever you go to a gas pump, you always grab onto the credit card thing and pull on it. And then like our gas pumps here, the gas stations put these seals on them. That way they know if they're broken or not, because unfortunately all the gas pumps use the same damn master key to get into
Mhm.
them.
Hello,
And
Brad.
And that's for state and federal inspectors, so they can go to any gas pump and unlock it and
Well,
inspect it.
this doesn't happen if you actually go into the shop and pay.
Yeah,
Right.
if you go into the register.
That's
Yeah.
not, I mean, that's not always true too. Remember the video we were watching of the guy that had the thing over
Yeah.
top of the credit card machine and it looked like a legit, and then
Yeah.
they pulled it off, the whole faceplate came off?
Yep.
Because sometimes you'll get these people in the stores that are doing the credit card
Doing
scams.
the ripoffs. Yep.
Because there was a girl that, I don't know if you guys ever saw that famous video that went viral on YouTube for a while there, but a lady confronted a girl at McDonald's because she saw her skimming her card in the window
Oh,
and then
Interesting.
went off on her. Like she saw her do it. She saw her palm her card down in the thing and put it through a skimming machine. And then
no.
went the hell off on her and called the cops on her. And
Yeah.
it turned out the girl had 40 cards on this machine.
40 cards he skimmed.
That's not good.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Mm.
Put ice
You
on
just
it.
don't know which way to turn anymore. I
Put
mean,
ice on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
well, Paul, what are they going to do when you get electric buses?
Exactly.
Well, they've already got them here. There's one electric bus that goes into the school I go to every day. Goes in though.
What do they have to do? Plug it in every night or what?
As soon as they're done the run, go back to the yard, plug it in.
Well, and the problem too is some of these people that have, a lot of people that have Teslas, you know, they don't have to go up and put their credit card stuff in the machine. They pull up and all that stuff's already stored on the vehicle and it just charges their account. But
Mm.
the problem is that setup is still in that charging
Yeah.
station. So they're figuring out how to get into that charging station's computer network.
Mm.
And that's how they're getting the cards. I don't think they're actually, because like I said, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that pull up to the Tesla stations. They plug their car in and it comes up right on the screen in the car,
Automatic, yep.
and then it
Mm.
charges their account for it.
Interesting.
So yeah, they figured out some way of getting into the actual system of the
Huh.
charging stations, but That's gonna be a problem no matter what you're doing.
2,500 ATMs in the US
Mm,
and have skimmers on a lot of them.
every day, yeah. Brad works for Capital One with the.
mm. Interesting.
Oh, Brad, what's that master code that you can punch in and it just starts spitting out 20s?
Yeah,
You want to
it's
go
got to
ahead
be
and
some way of doing it.
go ahead and send that to me over on Messenger. That'd be great. I knew
So
somebody.
Paul, can you tell a difference in the students that you drive every day now from the ones that you used to drive?
Yeah, I have not said one word to those kids except for today. And all that was, I know the warmer weather's here. You guys are more than welcome to put the windows down, but when you get out the bus, put the window back up, please and thank you.
Fine, then keep your
I don't
secrets,
want to have
Brad.
a million
This is your-
windows up.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is your captain speaking.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna send you 20 bucks in PayPal for the code, but whatever, Brad. Keep your secrets.
There's a
Yeah.
stupid folks think
That,
they
yeah,
in and backwards and call the police. Bullshit.
that's one of those urban myths
Yeah.
that they
yeah.
like to perpetuate.
I have heard that before, but I've never
It's
tried
been
it, I
busted
guess.
many times. But
I mean, there's no point in trying to call the cops if you're being robbed. Just let them take your money. Because the fucking banks will, the banks will just give you your money back anyway. I mean, you gotta remember, all that money's federally insured, so they don't really lose any money when they pay you back stuff for stuff like that. A lot of that stuff can get wrote off to the government.
mm,
You see what
Well, she'll
Marco
put-
put in for a code?
Yeah, it's code F, Joe Biden.
yeah, 3 letters FJB.
So you're gonna go fly tonight, right, Paul?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave here about 6 o'clock. So
Mm,
What are you
yeah,
gonna
there's,
fly?
well, where I parked my bus is at a church parking lot. It's a fairly good church, a big lot. But anyway, they got a ball hockey tournament starting tonight for the younger kids. It's gonna go on for about a week, so I'm gonna come down tonight and get some pictures for the church and stuff. So,
Ball
Mhm.
hockey tournament?
huh?
What's a ball hockey tournament? Damn it.
It's the street hockey.
Street
Oh,
hockey.
street hockey, okay.
okay. Don't have that here.
They have hockey sticks, but they just smack a ball around.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's
Feel
supposed
like
to
a
be
field
younger-
hockey.
Yeah, it's like, but it's younger kids, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
not-
know street hockey. Yeah.
And what they do, they got three. They got it all fenced in down there, but what they do, they got 3 areas that they're going to play all at the same time. But there they have what they call different lines. But you know, they go along for so long, and then the ref blow the whistle, then the lines change or something. I don't know. I'll know more tonight later on when I get down there. But apparently, I just heard. I was
Okay.
talking to the guy, and at St. Joe's High School, they've been looking for a drone operator to maybe do some stuff for their sports stuff, right?
Mm.
So I give him all my information and stuff. He's gonna get a hold of me. He's part of it or something, but I don't know. But they want to, but they didn't know what the implications are, you know. So I'm fully licensed, so is the drones and, you know.
Brad, I always wanted to try that motion controller because it looks like it would be fun, but I don't know. Everybody always downs that thing all the time. And I don't know.
Well,
I would find
I
it
think
to be fun.
it's a thing where if people don't understand it, or if people, people think something is different. They just seem to hate it. And that's in general with certain things. If you see someone enjoying something and you don't understand that, you immediately hate it.
Well, that was like, who was it that bought that drone and they said they weren't even gonna use it? And I was like, oh, it's Curtis. Remember when Curtis said he was buying the Avata? And
Yeah.
then he said he wasn't even gonna try the motion controller. I was like, you're not even gonna test it out one time? Yeah, so you might really like it. He's like, no, I'm not even gonna try it. I'm like, at least try it once. Cause I mean, it looks like it would be fun, like, I don't know.
It's almost like the old, the old joysticks you play.
Right.
Depending on where you come from, some people call it the dildo stick and other people call it the wanker stick.
I see Brad said the same thing. He said, I thought that motion controller was crap too, but then I ended
Yeah.
up really liking it. That's why I said some people haven't even tried it, but they'll talk down about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad, I'm in the middle of our busy time of the year, so I'm working 10, 12-hour shifts every day, so that's why I didn't go. We actually started the Monday before the drone meetup. I'm getting about 50, 55 hours a weekend right now.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out if I have a problem with my smart controller. Today, when I went and did a ship, it didn't want to seem to allow me to go sideways in one direction, to go sideways in the other, but not in the other direction,
Oh,
Oh my God, frickin' Donald. He's a dumbass.
Well,
Uh,
he does make a valid point, though.
oh my God.
So did anybody in the chat take a serious look at the new DJI Inspire 3?
I just watched the promotional video.
Okay.
That's all I did.
And none of the big guys have put videos out about it?
I don't know. I woke up and
haven't
pretty
seen
much got
any.
straight on here.
But they said the starter, like just the starter pack for the drone, like your basic package is 16 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't seeing anybody we know buy that drone. I guarantee you. They're gonna have to get a fucking second mortgage on their house to buy that thing. And I'm sure the damn, I'm sure the camera alone is gonna be another 10, 12 grand.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll do it.
Oh, I didn't put any link up at the top.
I got it.
Yeah, I was just about to put it up myself.
I was trying to beat Dominic.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, that's the same way, Brad, like I was talking about the M30, right? The new M30. Not everybody, the only person that bought
Curtis.
that was Dre. But even Dre went and got a loan
There
to
he
get that
is.
in order to get that drone because it was so expensive.
David. Birdman.
guys. Hey, Dave. Laura.
Who's part-timer Paul?
Paul Murray's forgetting the link again.
It's not part-timer. Part-time is someone that's only here part of the time. Paul's here all the time. No Paul, no chat, no show.
Hey, Laura, how you doing?
But I guarantee you though, Brad, with that drone, with all the bells and whistles, extra stuff for it, you're probably looking at about 30, 35,000. Easy.
Can I just take everybody back about 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Dominic, I agree with what you said. When people don't understand it, they don't like it.
Yep.
And this is Justin's problem. None of us understand him. We don't like him.
I will mute you. Keep it up.
Only joking, Justin. You know how.
What's up, Curtis?
Hi, twat.
It's not funny if we're not getting a dig in.
He's ignoring.
Yeah.
I ignore you.
Well, and the thing is too, is like the M30, that's made for commercial, industrial type work.
Yeah.
That Inspire
Each
3,
of them have their own qualities, personality, and usage.
the only one that I know of, honestly, where that Inspire 3 would benefit them at this point, and this is including all the big channels.
Yeah.
Only one I know that's in any business right now doing any of that is Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. He
And
should go ahead
movie-
and buy one.
Well,
That's what I thought.
the other one that would come to mind too is that is got a good business going is Rob Skillerin.
Yeah, Rob.
Welsh Rob, because
Yeah, didn't
he's
think
got
about
some
that.
big contracts, you know.
No, because I watched I watched the promotional video, and the first person I thought of is Matt.
Well, that's why I said if Matt gets into that stuff pretty heavily to the point where that's going to be a full-time job, that would definitely be a good investment for him because he needs a variety of different drones.
Yeah,
do
that's
different
what I'm
things.
saying. There's not one all rounder. You need specific ones, and you
Yeah,
just
there's-
can't get it with just one.
Hey, Brad,
Yeah.
thanks for stopping
You
in.
need
We'll
more
see
than
you
one.
later.
That's how I see it.
Metro drones.
Cyber
I don't-
Dream wants to know,
really-
are you saying he can't buy it?
I'm not saying you couldn't. Just saying, I don't see anybody really spending their money on unless you're doing some high-end fucking movie
Well,
type.
unless you got a lot of money,
work.
you don't care, you know.
But I mean, even if you're doing stuff like Dre's doing, that's not the drone you need. The M30 is what you need.
M30s. That's what I'm saying. You need various levels.
But the Inspire 3, that is definitely made for some movie-based work, not really. I mean, not to say you couldn't do mapping and all that shit with that, but why
God.
would you? The M30 is pretty much built around doing that.
Yeah, it's like anything. You've got to have all the tools in your toolbox. You can't just go. You just can't go to a work site and just have just one slotted screwdriver and think it's going to fit everything.
Right. That's why I said, don't. Matt
You
has
could go to a work site with a sledgehammer, and that does fix everything. So there are ways around it.
Oh, definitely. But you do need a bigger sledgehammer, so you've got to take more than one thing. Then you need a bigger sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So you're never really going to do anything with just one tool.
you might be
Take a JCB in there.
you might be right
Yeah,
about
but you
that.
still
Rob.
need a bigger JCB.
Well, no, you only need a standard size one. You could destroy a building with that.
Yeah, but if it's a really big building, you might need a bigger one.
No, I could pull down any building with a JCB, even a small digger.
The only
Hit the
thing,
right hit the corners, and the whole thing will go.
Hmm.
You might
Don't-
get squashed.
the only thing, Rod, though, is most people, in this group of people in the drone community, honestly, if they were doing that, they probably wouldn't even think of that Sony one. They just
Yeah.
automatically think DJI and they go for DJI
Yeah.
everything, or maybe Alltel.
I don't think I've Sony for anything.
Well, the Sony AirPeak is a damn good drone,
Sony.
but you don't ever hear anybody talking about Sony drones like that.
Exactly.
That's a lot of movie
Reputation.
studios and shit buying that stuff.
Are the drones with 360 cameras on them yet?
Yeah, that's what the Inspired cameras are
I mean, a
360.
full 360.
Yeah, it can go all the way around. Inspire the cameras that hang on the bottom of the Inspires. Yeah, they're
Yeah, because
360.
you got to put the gear up.
Because what they have is they have the Inspire 2 and 3 both have FPV cameras on the front for the pilot flying the drone.
Yeah.
And then you have a second controller for the person to control the camera underneath, and it does a full
Yeah.
360. But you're talking 20, probably gonna be 25, 30 grand for everything for that drone.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
know
sure.
that. some of the-
Oh, you guys are talking Inspire 3. I jumped into
Yeah,
Inspire 3.
you're gonna go out and buy it, aren't you, Chuck?
Yeah,
Hey,
but I know
Paul.
some of the drones do 360 pictures.
You see this?
Individual.
What's that?
This right here, that's that fuse that's blowing on my
Oh,
air
fryer.
right there. That's all I gotta change is that little fuse worth about $1.
That's no fun to talk about.
Don't
Now
get
the
to it,
Inspire
man.
3, which is essentially a helicopter replacement, at 20
Yeah, that's
grand
what I
with a camera, at $20,000 with a camera, it's way cheaper than hiring a helicopter for a few days. So that's why it's priced as such. That's my opinion anyway.
Well, your base
Well, you
package
got a
is
point. It is
16
cheaper than
grand.
a helicopter. So
Yeah, 16.5, right,
so
Justin?
go
It's
and
like
buy one.
16.5.
Yeah, but that I don't think that includes the camera, and you got to
Not the
remember.
fancy
No,
cameras.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It just has the
But
on
it's still
drone,
cheaper
like
than
the
a
camera.
helicopter.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, 100%.
Don't let it take away from that fact.
But you got to
Cheaper than a
remember,
helicopter. So
But
that
you
is a
gotta-
good excuse for people to buy it.
and they're
That's
probably
the unique
gonna.
selling point.
Yeah, that's a Hollywood studio kind of thing. I mean, like, you're doing full on production with that thing.
Well,
the
and
real
then there's probably going to be about, I'm assuming, maybe between 4 to 6 lenses for that thing.
And what's the
And
battery
those are
life
gonna-
Yeah.
like on
Those
this
are going to be
new one?
$2,000 a piece. I
Oh,
think
easy.
it was.
Easy.
What was the battery life, Paul? Was it 15
I
or
heard
18
28
minutes?
minutes.
28 minutes.
34 minutes or something like that.
For
I
a
heard
16
28.
grand drone. You see, that's where the helicopter outshines the drone, because you don't have to land the helicopter that often to change the freaking battery.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay for a pilot and a helicopter for
Insurance, big insurance. Yep.
and big right,
So the
Right.
helicopter's more expensive,
right.
even though it can go longer and
Yeah.
further out.
And you can get in the spots with the Inspire 3 that you just can't get to with a helicopter. I mean,
Yeah, you can't
got
get
the
in those
ability to
really,
get-
tight alleyways. If
Well,
you
you
wanted to
gotta-
do a tight alleyway, you can't fit a helicopter down there.
Or you're talking
Right.
about
And-
the fuel costs, then they're going to charge you for a certain amount of maintenance for the helicopter.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a crew of probably 3 guys on the helicopter, 2 flying it and 1 that's doing the camera in the back.
You're gonna have 2
Um,
with the Inspire. The Inspire will take 2. You
And
know,
you're
pilot,
talking,
camera operator.
yeah, and you're talking, that's the salary of 3 different guys on that helicopter.
But I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be out of
I'll
it.
let Justin run it. He'll do it.
Anyway, that's why DJI can charge what they charge for that thing. And whether the competitors to it are what, like
The Sony Air Peak.
Air Speed or whatever. Yeah, that thing is big money too. Because that carries full frame camera if you want to. That's actually cool about the Sony setup. You can carry a full frame Sony camera on it.
Yeah,
which
it
is
has
cheaper.
he said it has, Hot Rod said it has the 9K Sony FX3.
Hey,
Really-
Justin, I'm going to step out a little bit and go catch a ship real quick, and I'll be back, and you guys can handle it, right?
Yeah, we're fine.
But I gotta take off. I can't, in a few minutes.
Because all of you guys are co-hosts, so.
Here we go with the
Okay.
long goodbyes
Okay.
again.
Oh, goodbye.
Hey, guys, take a look at this camera.
Oh, ouch.
Look at this camera. This is for the unique H850 camera. Look at the
Oh,
price
nice.
on it.
Only
I can't
17,000.
see what it costs. It's small.
Only $17,849. Euro plus VAT.
Euros.
Cheap.
But don't forget, you get free shipping.
Yeah,
No, that's nice to.
yeah, that's the selling point, the free shipping.
It's sporting of them to give you the free shipping.
And I
Yeah.
think the Inspire 3 is only 8K. But this is the thing is, does shooting in 8K or even 9K make a difference on somebody's home TV when you show it?
No.
No,
It's most
The,
people are rocking 4K TVs.
yeah.
Well, Hollywood.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think 4K is that good.
So they want you to go out and buy an 8K TV. That's why they're doing it.
Whoa, what makes you think, David? Why do you think 4K is not that good? It depends on your sensor and camera setup. It's 4K isn't 4K isn't 4K.
I'm
Depends
on
on the
about
camera
in
itself.
TV. In
You know
TV.
that. You know that.
Well, even a lot of people
Oh.
are still rocking 1080 TVs. I mean, because they're super cheap.
Yeah.
That's because
Yeah.
there is not a genuine cable out there that can cope with a genuine 4K connection to
Oh,
a TV.
now I see what you're saying. I didn't understand you before.
Soon as
Transmission of it.
you know, when you get your, well, we've got Skyboxes over here, don't we? You'll have a set-top box.
Yeah,
That
we call them
set-top box,
Foxtel over here.
Once you put an HDMI cable in, you ain't getting 4K to that TV. You're only
Yeah.
getting 1080p.
Yeah, even with the one supplied.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
4K, even downloading, you're losing quality
Yeah.
coming over the, you know. Yeah. And until we can transfer 4K per second, millisecond, I
Yeah.
don't think it's ever going to be that good.
Well, you better get on that now, mister.
Yeah, yeah. Start developing a cable there, Birdman.
Yeah, get
Well,
on that, David. Britain can be first again.
Yeah.
Like, and I get what and I get what
What do you
Rod's
mean
saying.
again?
Yeah.
You know, the 8K video is shot on a 12K red cameras. It's just my point is, like I said, there's a lot of people out there still rocking 1080p TVs and 4K. I haven't met anybody that has like a 6 or 8K TV, to be honest with you. I don't know anybody that has one.
I don't think I've actually seen them yet.
There's really
I think there are some out there, but they have really
yeah,
high
there
end.
are certainly early adopters for it, but
Well,
there's no
that's-
point, nothing to really play on it anyway.
And the other thing as well, a lot of the 4K, 8K TVs are actually upscalers. So you're not actually getting genuine 4K because they're
Yeah,
trying to upscale it. And how do they upscale
marketing.
it? You play around with the brightness and the contrast and all that shit. It makes
It's all
no
marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing BS.
Yeah.
So, so for like a 55 inch now, if you were to buy a 4K 55 inch right now, you'd probably pay maybe $500-600 for it, if that. They're not that expensive, but you'd see the price difference.
Yeah.
You can
Amazing
almost
how-
buy 3 regular 55 inch TVs for what that one costs. I mean, look at that, 65, 2000.
You just get off the same website that Justin's on.
What's an OLED going for right now,
No,
Justin?
he's on
It's like
Amazon.
a 55 or 65 inch OLED going for.
65 inch OLED.
Yeah.
You're looking at about that's a 70. You said 65,
Yeah,
right?
Sony's. Yeah,
That
65
one's
inch.
about
It's-
13 to
Sony.
1500.
So they've stayed about the same since I bought mine like 4 years ago.
If you want the Samsung 77 inch, it's 3600.
Well, yeah, you're going. That's a lot bigger and it's a lot more surface area. Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't have the space for it, but that'd be nice.
Yeah, see, that's what I remember, Arada. Yeah, you can't see the difference with 8K until the screen is at least 120 inches.
Yeah, then you have the pixels spread out, and it's gonna be then it's helpful. But that's why
Yeah.
Hollywood uses it.
See,
So-
well, and they're probably thinking movie theaters with the big ass screens. Like Rod said, he has a 150 inch projection system, so pretty familiar with where 8K is useful. That's a problem, is a lot of people don't have screens that big.
No,
I mean,
so you're
the biggest you'll
telling
see them. Well, the biggest TV you'll see in most people's houses is maybe a 75 inch.
yeah,
I mean, they do.
65 seems to be common. 55,
Yeah.
65 are super common.
Like if you go to like most of the electronic stores like Walmart or Best Buy, usually the biggest TV stock is 6 inch.
Well, here's something for you. You can have as many KTV as you want, all the way up to 32K at the moment, but your eyes will not see more than 4K unless it's your gaze is constantly moving If you're watching TV, you wouldn't want that because it would make you very, very sick.
I've seen a whole bunch of interesting articles on how our eyes work because they're analog devices, but like
Yeah.
there are articles saying that we can't really see more than like 10 frames a second and all kinds of wild stuff. Like
I think you can see more than that, but unless your gaze is moving, anything more than 4K apparently is a waste.
Well, it's like Rod said, so 8K TVs under 120 inches are actually useless because you're not getting the full effect of 8K.
That's like playing 4K on your phone. It's just a waste of power because you can't see it. It's the same idea.
Well, on your phone, it stretches 4K video anyway. It's better to watch 1080 60.
Well, I meant the fact that, you have there's no reason 1080 is going to look just as good as 4K on a phone.
Yeah.
Oh, 1080 60 looks perfect on a phone. It's
you can't even tell when your shit's blurry on your drone camera on like the phone. Then you play it on the big screen. It's like, oh my god, what did I do? Ask me how I know, but like.
Well, yeah, if you play like 1080 60 on like a 50-inch TV, you're definitely going to see a difference.
Sure.
But on anything like a laptop screen or I would say like a 27-inch monitor or smaller, it's going to look fine.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of analogy to what you were talking about, where if you have like a 120 screen, then 8K makes sense. Otherwise,
right, but
not so much.
In the terms of video, I don't think 8K is going to make a dent in it. It's not going to help. 4K is probably your max. But when it comes to gaming, I think that's where 8K will come into its own.
Well, and the thing with the bigger the TVs, the more thinner they get to the point to where you could just roll a TV out on your wall. Like, Samsung's been working on that technology for the last 10 years or
yeah,
so.
the glass.
Yeah, where it literally comes in a tube and it'll be a 120-inch TV and you can just literally put on the wall.
They've got that new one now, haven't they? The new one is like a little box and you just put it on your wall and it just beams the image up your wall. The only downside is if you get one little mark on your wall, it's going to annoy the hell out of you.
Well, you have to. That's kind of like when you had projection. You could have a special screen or paint the wall with special paint.
You all right there, Hodges?
Yeah, I just crying.
Okay.
Why?
No, I was yawning. When I yawned, my eyes water like a brick.
Oh, I thought something was wrong. You stubbed your toe or you were thinking about your high school girlfriend or something.
Yeah, too.
That stuff
was
too.
yawning, swallowed a fly, felt sorry for it.
And Rod brings up another good point. The internet bandwidth is.
Yeah.
I mean, my 1 gig would.
Oh man, yeah. Holy cow!
Probably run 8K. Okay, I don't know. I mean, it seems to do 4K instantly. I mean, I can pull a 4K video up on my TV and it will come up pretty quickly through mine, but I have the minimum 1 gig, But like over in my area here in Florida, now the standard is becoming 2 and 5 gig speeds now. Like
Really?
right now, 1 gig is your standard speed in most of the areas around here. Almost everybody I've met in Florida damn near has 1 gig speed now. It seems to be pretty standard. There are a few people like Uncle Bill and a couple other people are still rocking a little bit slower speeds, but I know like a lot of people that play in my server are all from Florida. Most of them, they all have 1 gig speeds.
Gonna be honest, I don't think your internet's gonna be that much of a problem. Because you only need 15 megabits per second for 4K video on Netflix. That's their recommended.
Well, everything's getting freaking fiber optic everywhere. Like I said, we get about 200-300 tickets a day from the gas company for crews out there that are laying fiber every day. That's how many tickets we get for fiber crews out there laying around fiber around the county.
Yeah, right. So
That's just
15 megabits, and they reckon to guarantee it with no buffering is 25. That's for 4K. So
Yeah, but
Not
I don't
your
even
internet
think,
speed.
but I don't even think they're streaming. I want to say they're streaming like 1080 30 though, I think.
Yeah.
Because they say ultra high def, but it isn't.
Yeah. I think the bottleneck is more server end than it is your internet end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true
The
too, Roddy.
maximum number of users trying to access it at the same time.
And I've
And
heard
that's where
that
your
too.
problem will lie.
Well, I've heard that same issue Rod's talking about. He said the pipes out of the data centers is the issue. So it's not really the infrastructure running to your house. It's the data centers where the stuff's coming out isn't really up to par where it should be.
Yeah. Well, like I say, in the UK, a lot of the data centers are on industrial estates, and they're the last ones to get these super fast internet speeds, which is strange. You'd think the businesses would get it first, but the internet companies are trying to push it out to the houses first.
There's quite a few states in the US that are really spending a lot of money upgrading their internet systems and their infrastructure, but I mean, I'm sure it'll get better over time. I mean, the faster the world's moving,
Yeah.
the more data is being sent, it's going to have to get better.
Yeah, isn't it? Korea, I think, is it Korea that's got 5 gigabyte now?
Well, they're offering 5 gigabyte here where I live. It's
They are.
pricey though. You're going to spend about 250, $300 a month. But yeah, you get 5,000 up, 5,000 down. And then they are offering 2.5 gig speed, I think is the other one, 2.5. So you'll get 2,500 up, 2,500 down. That's the two that I keep seeing the ads for on YouTube and stuff. Frontier in my area on
Yeah, too
YouTube
many,
and Facebook. Yeah.
There's too many countries and too many, well, in America, it'd be too many states and that are too far behind to support a world of full, that will support all these stuff. So companies like Netflix are not going to invest in 8K until everybody can get it.
Well, see, and you're right about that too, because there's a lot of states in the middle of the United States that have such small populations that a lot of these internet providers and stuff don't want to spend the money to lay infrastructure for 20,000 people. They don't want to spend $100 million because they'll never make it back. So that's where companies like Starlink and shit are coming into play. See, that's where Elon's scooping up a lot of people in the Midwest, and because there's a lot of states like where take where Ron lives, right? Ron Lockwood. A lot of those states where he lives in that area, dude, there's only like 400, maybe 500 to 1 million people in the whole state. That's nothing.
Yeah.
When those people are spread out everywhere.
No.
Oh yeah, Rod, I've been seeing even here in Florida where your fiber is readily available. I'm seeing Starlink dishes popping up. Like I've seen people in the middle of my city that could easily get fiber and they have Starlink dishes.
Well, guys, I gotta run. I gotta go
catch you later,
get
Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
fly that thing to
Yeah.
tonight,
No,
so.
I'm going to run as well.
Don't
Yeah.
take no
Yeah.
children
I'll
out.
see y'all later.
Guess
Yeah.
I'll jump to
Hey, guys.
catch you boys later.
Catch you later.
Yeah, now I kicked
Bye-bye.
everybody out. Leave.
Oh, not really. No, I got it.
Yeah, I'm going. I got to go.
Yeah, I'm putting them in the waiting room. I'm tired of the long goodbyes. All right.
Bye, boys and girls.
Well, me and I guess it's just
Yeah.
me and you, David.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering if Chuck thought we were ending it. He didn't say he had to go. But yeah, Rod, there's a lot of people on Starlink. I don't see the point in buying an 8K TV, honestly. It's more of a status thing, I would say.
I'll tell you what's confusing me at the moment. All the phone companies are trying to push out this 5G, signal into more rural areas. And they reckon within the next year, they're going to have to go back again and replace it with 6G.
But to be honest, if they could really hone in on 5G and get it right where it should be running, because there are a lot of problems with 5G still at the moment. It is a better step up from your LTE, but it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
quite what they promised everybody, right?
It's not
So-
because the infrastructure's not there.
Well,
They've
and
got to-
the wavelengths are shorter, and so they have more trouble. Like I've noticed with my phone, I get 5G, really good 5G coverage almost everywhere I've been in Florida. I get really good 5G coverage, but the minute I walk into a building or something, that's where my phone starts struggling. And they said that was an issue with 5G from the beginning, that the wavelengths are shorter, so they have more of an issue penetrating through stuff.
I don't know, because over here it's not that bad. I mean, I'm on a 5G internet connection now, and I'm getting 700 meg.
Yeah, the high
download,
speeds.
300 meg.
And
upload.
and I was just about to say what Rod said, the high speeds are only short range. That's the problem. So they have to put up more towers than what they
Yeah.
had to have with 4G, or they have to come up with a small repeater box, some kind of a repeater box, that they could like mount on fucking telephone poles everywhere. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like something like that, which they were talking about doing
I
some shit
suppose
like that
that's
a couple
probably
years
why
ago.
I get a good speed, because the tower is only around the corner from us.
But honestly, if they honed in and really worked on the 5G and got it to where they promised everybody it should be, I think that would be sufficient enough for the next 10, 15 years before they would need to worry about updating it again. I mean, I don't
4G
really.
was 4G was really bad here because you'd get a good 4G signal in London, but because so many people were on it, it's freaking pointless. Nothing would load.
Like
5G came out, it made a hell of a difference.
Like I said, and I've done like speed tests on my phone when I'm out and about, and I'll average, on average, depending on where I'm at, I've seen as high as 200 up and 200 down on a speed test. I think on the or the 200
better
or
than
whatever
that.
on it, which isn't bad for a cell phone by any means, but because at home on my phone, if I hook it, let me see if I can do a speed test on my home internet, see what I get.
I'm gonna do one on the mobile
Let's see here.
indoors. Let's see. Speed test. Where the frick have you gone?
So right now, my house on my internet, my home internet, I'm getting about 140 up and down. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. I think they got some work to do on that.
Yeah, well, my 5G signal is really weird at the moment. I'm getting 529 meg download, but only 15.2 upload.
And I'll tell you, I've noticed in Florida, and Rod, I think Rod lives here in Florida, so he would know too as well. But I've noticed personally, I have a work phone that's Verizon. I have my personal phone that is T-Mobile, and they're both 5G. And my T-Mobile phone blows my Verizon phone out of the water when it comes to signals. Like I get a signal everywhere. I've never really been in a spot where I haven't gotten a good signal on 5G, but my Verizon phone's constantly 1-2 bars almost everywhere I go. What's up, Ron?
What's
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
5 bars.
I don't know if
Indoors.
Rod has had that same experience down where he's at, but. And this is me just being from Winter Haven up to like Yulee up at the top of Florida. I've done a lot of traveling back and forth between there. Is that your acceptance letter to the university?
No.
Yeah.
This has been a very good mail
Oh.
day.
What's up, Rod?
Hey,
I,
Justin. Did you see my note about 5G?
Yeah, Internet of Things.
Yeah, 5G, honestly, and this is why the world has been like breaking their backs to try to implement 5G, is about all of the services and devices that, cars and cameras and freaking everything else is. It's about being able to support the number of devices and services, right? For example, Zoom, since that's what you guys are using for this thing, right? And so that's why everybody's been breaking their necks with the whole 5G thing, and because it was about, they knew the speed thing was a bit of a marketing thing because of the range of it.
That's
right?
what I heard.
The milliwave is so bloody short. It's like, I don't even think it's a mile. Actually, I think I overstated that. It's like, I know when they initially did it in Chicago, it was like 6 blocks.
Yeah.
From the transmitter.
And I'm sure it's even, well, I'm sure it's even harder in the big cities with a lot of the big buildings and shit.
Oh,
sure
yeah,
it's
yeah,
even
yeah,
rougher.
bouncing off. I mean, think about Florida with all the freaking rebar, right?
Yeah.
In all the walls because of hurricanes. So,
Well, like I said, I've noticed when I come indoors in most of the buildings, my phone will start lagging. It will show
100%.
It will show
100%.
3 or 4 bars, but it just doesn't have the
in
bumps to pull anything up.
Florida with all the rebar and block walls because of the hurricane standards, the minute you walk 10 feet inside the store, and you probably have no connection unless they have a repeater inside the store.
Oh yeah, I've
I
noticed
don't
that.
seem to have that problem here in the UK because, like I said, I'm indoors. I'm getting a pretty good speed. Got 5 bars.
Mm-hmm. But
That's on
you don't
my
have
phone
hurricane standards.
and on my router.
Well, and this really, I think, comes into play with why you guys might have it better, David. Your land mass is just much smaller.
Yeah, it is.
Like
that.
we're more spread out. Like if you wanted to blanket all the UK with, freaking internet towers, it wouldn't take that long to do it. Versus,
You'll be surprised.
Well, you're smaller than almost 90% of our states.
Yeah, but you'll be
Like-
surprised, not because they haven't got the capability. It's one, the companies don't want to, and 2, they're fighting against the council and the people. This is one of the biggest problems over here at the moment. Is I want a 5G signal, but I don't want the bloody mast outside my door.
Yeah, the funny part of it is you have a camera about every 6 inches in the UK.
Oh, we were talking about that one day. There,
you can't walk around with like not being on like 100 cameras, probably.
No, you guys actually are considered one of the top countries in the world for most CCTVs and the most extensive CCTV camera setup.
I think in the bigger cities, you may be, but here in Wickford, Basildon, Essex, it's not as bad as I think. We've got 2 CCTV cameras in the high street, and then you've got them in the shops. But apart from that, there's nothing.
But it's getting just as bad in the US. I mean, now with the invention of Ring doorbells and all these cheaper security, like you can get a 4-camera setup for your outside of your house for like $500. That would have cost you 10 grand 20 years ago. Now you can get it for like $500.
Over here in the UK, everybody like Ring doorbells. Great. Unfortunately, you have to have it where it points to the certain. You're not allowed to overlook your neighbor's garden. You're not allowed to overlook the public footpath with it. It's just ridiculous. It's a camera. You know what? If you're caught on a camera, you're doing nothing wrong. You've got nothing to worry about.
If you walk down my street, David, you'd probably be on about 56 cameras within 1 block.
And that's the ironic thing about people bitching about drones and privacy. It's like, how many other cameras are wandering around your neighborhood? And how many cell phones are, if somebody wants to look in your backyard, they can stick their cell phone over top of your fence and take pictures. It doesn't need to be a drone in the air.
And you don't see people bitching at somebody when they're taking a selfie and they walk behind the person.
What about your neighbor next door in the 2nd story who can see your backyard?
Exactly.
I mean, basically, the minute you step outside your house in this day and age, you're fair game to show up on a camera somewhere.
Oh, Ron,
Oh.
what were you were saying something about your mail?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a good mail day. Normally you get junk mail or bills.
Right.
I've got 2 refund checks from saying, hey, dumbass, you paid your bill twice.
Oh,
Hmm,
at least I
interesting.
told you.
And,
Hey, Ron, don't ever move to Florida.
yeah.
One of the first things that I noticed when I moved to Florida from North Dakota, god damn, you get a shit ton of junk marketing mail in your actual mailbox. Where in North Dakota, you'll just get it electronically. Down here, because of the age population and the older age, they still ship pieces of paper to everybody's
And you know what I do, Rod? I walk right over to the trash can and I dump
Yeah,
it
I
all right.
know.
It's
Everybody
like
does.
it's such
Everybody
a waste.
does. It is
You know,
such a
you know what
waste.
we do over here? We just put a sign on the door saying no junk mail. And
I've,
when you hear the postie in the morning, he gets to your door, he reads the sign, you hear him go, oh, for Pete's sake, because he has to take it all out and put the genuine mail through and take the junk mail away with him.
Well, this will certainly help my bank account.
Although it's keeping the postal service in business down here in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, 2 different bills totaling up to $1,050.
Wow,
That's not bad.
you could about buy a Mavic 3 for that, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're only another 16 of them paychecks back to get on the new
Yeah.
drones.
10 more of those and you can buy the Inspire 3.
And you know what else I noticed, Rod, too, especially in my area, I'll be going through neighborhoods and doing inspections, and everybody's got like 3 weeks of newspaper sitting at the end of their driveways. Nobody picks them up. They throw.
Who
They're
reads
not.
who reads the newspaper anymore?
They're free now. They just come by and throw them at your house,
Yeah.
and then they end up. And then once every couple weeks, you'll go out there and pick them up off the ground and throw them in the recycle bin.
See, I couldn't get with your mail system. You know how they put it at the end of the drive, or your new papers get thrown to the front door. You know what? It'd be my luck. I'd walk out the door one day and I get hit with a newspaper, and that poor bloody newspaper person and get it straight back.
Well, luckily they do it at like 3 a.m, so usually you don't see them. They're sneaky little bastards, I'll tell you that.
I do like is it Police Academy where the milk van, the news, there's comedy. I forget which one it is, but the newspaper guy's going around throwing the newspapers in, and then the milkman's going behind him throwing the milk.
No, that was
I can't remember what film it was.
that was the one where they were making fun of Maverick. Hot Shots. Yeah, Hot Shots.
Hey, did you get flooded out yesterday, Justin?
No, we haven't had any floods up here.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. What part of Florida are you in again?
Winter Haven, Polk County. I'm in the dead center.
Oh, you're over there. You're not down there by Lauderdale then.
No, I'm nowhere near there.
What's his name? Matt Cundiff got.
Oh, Matt's close to the airport. It's probably a
Yeah.
good thing he's got that big honking truck like Ron.
Well, he apparently he put a post on Facebook or something. He had water starting to come in his house.
Damn. They
Yeah.
got 20 inches of rain in 6 hours, was what I
Yeah,
saw in the
that's
news
incredible.
article.
See, I'm all the way up here. where
Yeah, I
Lakeland-
know where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the way down here. I'm nowhere near there. I'm about 4 hours or so from there.
You're closer to me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rod, are you still in Daytona Beach area?
Yeah, just north of Daytona is where I'm at.
What you been up to, Ron?
Oh, I had a productive day. I went over to the neighboring town and took care of the finalization of the body shop for my truck that I had done there a couple months ago. Grocery shopping, got a haircut today.
Hey, did you go get some more corn for the deer?
Yeah,
That part of the grocery shopping list
that's
for
part of the
you?
grocery shopping. Bought a new pair of boots and hiking boots, and then bought a mosquito face net.
Oh, I hate those mosquitoes, little bastards.
You get any
man.
silos? You get any farm silo kind of stuff out there, Ron, to buy your corn at?
Say again now?
Do you have any like silo places to buy your corn at?
Oh, no, we usually have like, we have a lot of feed stores.
Gotcha.
You would buy a 50-pound bag for like $14.
Yeah, you know, in the Midwest, you go anywhere, you get those big honking silos where all the farmers are bringing their crap, and you can buy
Right.
corn and crap stuff there too. So
Yeah, we
That's better than $150 a week Murray's spending on peanuts.
oh my
for those
God, yeah,
fucking
he's
squirrels.
crazy. I don't like my deer that much.
Dude, you could buy
$20-25 a month.
you could buy like 300 pounds of corn for what he spends on
Oh, I
like
know.
I think like
Yeah,
I think he buys what 20-pound bags or 25-pound bags of
and
peanuts.
he
And they're
said
like
he spends.
about $120 a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think I'd like my squirrels that much.
No, and they're big. I'll tell you what, you get them in your house, he'll stop feeding them. Yeah,
I don't have to worry about it getting in my house because my two cats will chase them. We had a squirrel get into the pool deck. Oh my God, my female cat, she howled at that squirrel until he got up on this cage and got back out.
Oh, we had them in my old apartment a few years back, like 3 or 4 years ago. I was staying with my sister for a little bit, and she had an apartment, and there was a big old hole in the side of the roof outside where they were going in. So we called up the maintenance people for the apartment complex. We were like, dude, we can hear the squirrels running around inside the ceiling. And they were like, well, what do you want us to do? Like, get them the fuck out of there. There's a big ass hole. I can see it right there. It's like 5 feet from me.
Lucky
it
you
was
didn't
a
have
hole like that.
Raccoons up there.
Oh, I don't know what else was up there. I'm sure there's probably other shit up there, birds and everything else. But they were kind of like, it's not our responsibility. Yeah, it is. It's a 3-story apartment building. Like, yeah, it is your responsibility.
You guys heard about the explosion at a Texas dairy farm?
Yeah, they think the heater or the
Yeah, the meat.
gear or something overheated and the methane and it exploded the
Yeah.
methane.
Yeah, killed 18,000 cows.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, beef just
That's
went
a
up.
lot of milk.
Did they get any video of it?
No, it's only just made on news. But I'll tell you what, I reckon your McDonald's beef burgers might be going down in price. They're all flame grilled already. Jesus,
Probably true.
18,000.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Hell of a lot.
Yeah, there was a picture of it, Justin. I don't think they got the actual explosion, but you can see the cloud.
Oh,
all the cameras these days, and they didn't get a video of it. Damn it.
There probably is, but that has it like snuck out. But
Yeah, I'll be honest though, 18,000 cows. That's a lot of methane anyway.
it's a big milk farm.
Wow.
Well, I
There you
guess
go. There's the
but
picture.
It
That
didn't
picture.
show it in the video though.
Yeah. That picture is the one that I've seen on all the news articles.
Wow.
Holy shit, look at that.
Hey, cows make lots of methane gas.
Yeah.
Well, the manure does, right?
Yeah, people hundreds of miles away just getting.
Jesus, look at that. There's some good aerial footage.
You know, in a lot of third world countries, they use manure for heat, right? Because they burn it.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ, that's
so that many cows, that's a lot of manure hanging around to
Well, that's gotta have
explode.
like a big barbecue there. They should have threw like sauce in there.
Tell you what, yeah, tell you what though, I bet some of that explosion, I bet a few of them cows went a few
Big
miles.
sauce.
I bet it smelled like freaking burgers through that whole
Oh,
damn for
I
miles.
bet. Didn't think about it. Yeah, that's a lot of.
Actually,
going up.
Justin, we were talking about internet speeds. Hey, so Ron, what's your internet speed out there where you live out in the boonies?
No. Well, you know what? What's the?
Where are you using Starlink?
Oh God, no. I can't because of across the street. I think. I actually had a couple of what do you call them, dish companies that were here. They went up on my roof and they're like, "Yeah, you're kind of fucked because of the trees across the street."
So you can't see south.
Yeah, it's the south problem. But what's the? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe get a chainsaw. You could fix the trees.
Yeah, piss off the neighbors though, because it's their property.
Do like Robert Glazer did and feed his neighbor's trees. Until it died.
I'm trying to remember, what is the
Dial-up speed.
the speed test website?
Oh, just go to Google and put in.
Speedtest.net
Yeah, just go to Google and put in speed test.
or speedtest.net.
Yeah, speedtest.net. That one works.
Yeah. I thought he was going to say, what's the speed of dial-up? 56K.
You know, you can still buy dial-up plans. We were actually looking at those a couple months ago.
You can probably get DSL.
Yeah, you
through
can't
the
order
phone
here in
company.
the UK.
Yeah, there's still companies that are providing those plans out there.
Speedtest.net.
Yeah.
Does it matter because I'm live streaming?
No.
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 All it does is send a data packet and sees how fast it goes.
The funny part is it's not actually sending all that much data in the packet. It's actually just sending the headers.
Yeah, it just works it out from the speed of the package.
All right, there's my download.
Oh. He freezes up. No, you'll be fine, Ron.
Yeah. Did you say you downloaded it?
No,
he was
You don't
saying
need to download
down.
it.
No, he was saying my down, and then he froze.
All right.
Oh shit.
Your upload is for streaming like this is your upload. Download is for when you're downloading.
Here, let me share. Show you what shit I got.
2 megs up, 5 megs up,
Ah,
21 down, almost 1 meg up. Wow. That looks
Yeah.
like DSL.
oh, I wish it was. No, it's still copper. Yep.
Yeah, you can run DSL over the copper. So, yeah, you got the old stuff.
Yeah, I know.
The
And,
old stuff.
They sent me a letter the other day saying my price is gonna go up. And then I got on the phone with them. I'm like, really? For the garbage that you provide? See what these internet companies, they like my company, they like, oh, we'll offer you this package and that package. Like if I went to get the next package, I'd be paying a lot more, but getting no better service.
Yeah, you might as well get Starlink.
Yeah, but
because that doesn't have to necessarily be pointed south. I don't think.
I thought it did.
There you go, Ron.
Yeah, look at you.
Oh,
It's higher. It's higher than mine. I got Spectrum, which used to be the Bright House. I think I'm at, I don't know, 500-600 megs.
If
This
it
is
helps, Ron, that's just a video Justin showing you.
I'll bite me. That's Frontier right there. Like I said, we get a couple hundred tickets every day from the gas company to locate lines for the fiber cut, different fiber.
You don't mind me asking, Justin, what do you pay a month just for the?
It's $150.
How much?
150.
$150 a month.
But the amount of shit I run off of it, though, it's worth the
Wait,
money. I mean,
Did you just say $150 per month?
yes.
I'm paying $90 a month for this fucking garbage.
Wait. $90?
Yeah.
Right. Anyone go any cheaper than $90?
So I'm at just over 500, Justin.
You can't get
And
internet.
I forget
worse
what I'm paying for. It's not much.
Just let me work this out. 20.
You're not getting worse than mine anywhere other than unless you're at Tim's house.
But I literally have.
Tim has Starlink now.
But I literally have a full security system, a laptop, gaming PC, couple TVs, multiple
Dude.
phones and tablets, the kids' computers from school. All that shit's running on it right now with those, and that's the speed I get.
Wow.
But that's the reason why, if 99% of the shit I'm using is all internet based, I wanted the best that they had at the time. Like that was, to me, it was worth it.
I won't upset you guys with what I pay.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
it's
tell 'em.
cheap over there.
Yeah, I'm paying equivalent of $25, and that gives me unlimited internet, unlimited calls. I can send texts from my phone, my house phone. Internet security is all provided. All for
Yeah,
20
it's
all for
that's been the
$25.
ironic part. It's been cheaper outside the US than inside the US.
And like Dre said, I'm assuming he's talking about where he lives. He says 1 gig or more, you're gonna be paying over 130 a month. 130 plus.
I would pay that if but we saw what I got.
Yeah, 1 gig over here is £39, which is about $50.
That's Harry Potter money. That doesn't help.
It may be a Harry Potter money, but it's better than yours. It clearly goes further.
And that was the other interesting thing about mobile, right? Mobile went big outside the US. Actually, mobile went big in the third world before it did in the Western world. And there was a reason for that, because in the third world, they have lots of problems with people digging up the copper wire for the copper. So it was better for them to put the towers in and get rid of all the copper so that people wouldn't steal it.
Well,
so that's why cellular went bigger there.
So what do you pay for your mobile package, Justin? Your mobile phone package.
It's 40 a month, and I get unlimited high-speed internet and talk and text.
Yeah, so your mobile is more or less level with ours, but
Yeah, but your internet is wireless, right? It's not hardwired from the cable company from the street, right?
no, it's wired. I've got
Okay.
we've got a 5G connection here, which is through EE, but Laura uses the wired connection that goes underground and off into the big exchange.
Yeah, because mine's goes straight out to the box by the road, and then they run a fiber cable up to the modem outside, because they've been mounting modems outside on the walls now in these sealed boxes. And then from there, it runs through the copper of your house, which that doesn't really affect the speeds because it's not enough distance to really do anything.
Well, soon, once the completed rollout in the area of the full 1 gig, they're all the cables will be fiber optic from your living room all the way back to the exchange. There's going to be none of these little boxes anywhere, and it just directs straight in.
Yeah, they just run this little tiny thin fiber optic cable. I mean, it's super small. I mean, it's like it's thinner than an Ethernet cable.
Since the 80s.
But it's thinner than an Ethernet cable, and they run it right across, and they'll actually run it right across your driveway, and you can drive over top of the damn thing. It doesn't do anything to it. Like they're tough little cables.
There's a big change coming in the computer world that's going to make for some interesting impacts, both infrastructure and just cost mechanisms. And I've been sort of warning people for a long time this was coming. It's now in the business editions of Windows, but it eventually your PC is going to live in the cloud. Your device is literally just going to be a display device to your PC. And the beauty of that is you can attach to any device and be on your PC sort of anywhere in the world kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm not convinced about all this cloud stuff. One, companies are not secure enough yet. As you can see, the likes of Google and
tell me your house is secure.
It's not.
So that means your machine living in the cloud would be more secure than it is living in your living room.
Well, no, because the other problem with the cloud services, and we've seen this firsthand here, is you get your mobile phone, they go, yeah, we'll give you a 512 gigabyte storage, but we're only going to give you a 24 gigabyte cloud storage. So you have to pay the extra to get the extra cloud storage. And if for one moment you don't pay up on time, bang, your data's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't happen over here.
Yeah,
Someone else has control of your
uh,
data.
all of that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, all of that is going to change, David.
Well, because I was paying for Google Drive for a while for 200 extra gigs, and I stopped paying it, and I didn't really have anything on there, but some just shit that downloaded automatically to it that wasn't really important. But when I went and redid my Google Drive, all the shit was still there. They didn't actually delete anything.
No, they
So
don't.
they must hold it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
likes
just
of
in case.
Google, the likes of Google can, but there are, I mean, Samsung did their Samsung Cloud and they messed a lot of people up because what they did is they said, right, you've been backing up your files to our cloud service for quite a long time. And then suddenly they went, your pictures, you're going to have to remove them and you're going to have to upload them to OneDrive. And that obviously meant OneDrive was suddenly getting your money. You didn't have the option to go to Google. They just automatically shoved you onto OneDrive. And a lot of people was like, well, I ain't paying for the extra for OneDrive. Google's cheaper.
That's probably just something.
So
I mean,
eventually your PC will be in the cloud and you can basically just buy the amount of performance that you want.
Yeah, I'll just stick with my physical computer and my
Yeah, I got it.
little cloud
It's going to be a
storage.
long changeover period, but the latest Microsoft 365 licensing, enterprise licensing, actually gives them permission to
What's up, Dre?
run
Howdy.
machines in Azure. So that's also coming to the consumer as well.
I'll tell you what I am like in the thing of these new glasses where literally the screen is in your glasses lens.
Oh, the AR ones.
Yeah, the AR. They're getting better and better.
I saw some reviews on those about a week ago.
Now, if they come with your cloud storage, that'd be a lot better.
Yeah, no, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of your PC in the cloud, right? The device, your local device, becomes a display device versus a computing device, right? Your computing device lives up in the cloud. Obviously, you still have a display. You'll have keyboard, mouse, or voice control over a lot of that. The technology is slowly going to change to where the device in your hand is probably not really the computing device. It would be a more specialized. It'll have computing simply to process your sort of
Could process the data, but the storage
process
of
your inputs.
Yeah.
Right. Voice.
But as we all
things
know
like
as
that.
well, as you see with Microsoft, with the new way they do the updates, they could push out an update and they could wipe out 1 million computers in a second. And they've done it. Yeah. I know they've fixed it and, they've, given updates and that. But if they get, one slight thing wrong with a server, they could wipe out all that data in a second. It's just like, poof. At the end of the day, if my computer breaks, it's my fault.
Yeah,
I'm not relying on someone else.
Yeah, there's a flip side to that argument. They can also put an update out to, if everything's in the cloud, they could push a security update in no time flat before the bad guys can actually take advantage of anything. So there is an upside to the other side.
There is, but I just think you're relying too much on one company. And like you said, you're paying for that service. Then you're physically forced to pay them. And if you don't pay them, you've got nothing.
You're already
I'm
you're
sure
already
there'll
paying
be-
you're already paying for your machine. It's just that you're paying, $2,000-3,000 for a laptop. And instead of paying $2,000 or $3,000, you're going to pay $30 a month
I'm
for
not
the
sure where
next
you're-
2 years kind of
I'm
thing.
not sure why you're paying $2,000-3,000 for a laptop.
Because I buy gaming laptops,
Yeah,
not
dude.
just sort of every day of the day kind of laptops.
Well, it's always going to come down to you always going to have the option to opt in or opt out on cloud.
Oh,
storage,
yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have now. So
Yeah.
if you don't like it, don't pay for it. You don't get
Yeah,
access
exactly.
to it.
It's not
I
going to
mean-
be a mandatory thing.
Right. Like I said, I have cloud storage now on my NAS at my house that connects my phone, all the computers in my house, and everything else goes to that NOS device.
But essentially your computer will be a VM hosted somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, I mean, it's already there now. You can
Yeah,
have it in your
exactly.
home, but this would be a like I say, a Amazon web server warehouse somewhere,
Yep.
and they'll have all your data on it.
Yep.
It's already there.
And the other beauty part of it is it's all backed up. If you get hit with crypto, they'll still have the backups to restore the thing even after the crypto. And there's, from a pure security and being able to manage the environment so that you don't have problems,
Right.
it's a massive upgrade from where we're at today. You know, a lot of those DDoS attacks that have occurred have been because of, let me be frank, a lot of Windows XP machines sitting in Eastern Europe and China that were all hacked, that were being used as bots to attack other machines.
Don't go too far, Ron. I gotta ask some questions. Hey, Hot Rod, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you around in a while, buddy.
Yeah, I know. There were a lot of things going on for me, Jay.
Oh, okay. Long, I take it everything worked out. I see a new car in your background, so I guess you got new projects going on.
Yeah. Maybe someday I'll explain.
Okay. Well, we always just concerned when you don't see people for a minute. You know, we get a little concerned.
And to be honest, I haven't seen much of you since Jim went on his hiatus, because you used to be on Jim's show all the time.
Yeah. Well, he used to come on Uncle Bill's, and then all of a sudden he just kind of just slowly.
Yeah, I disappeared
he
from
put a Homer
everything for
Simpson
a
move on
while.
us in the bushes.
Unfortunately, I don't catch Bill's show very often because he does it too late on Sunday nights.
Yeah. How did your flight go, Paul?
Went really well, really well.
Now, I don't mind. I take over for a minute, Mr. Murray.
Yes.
I need
Sure.
to talk to Mr. Ron to find out who and where he's working at nowadays, or did he stay put?
I stayed put.
Okay.
I interviewed at another job. They offered me more money,
Right. I remember that.
but the problem was, it would have been, it's closer to home, but it was more driving.
Oh, okay.
And I figured out the mileage, it was somewhere between 600 and 800 miles more per month.
Right.
And on the good side, the guy that I was working with for the past year and a half, they switched out him and me, and we're with separate partners now.
Good. Good. So I mean, you're not having that issue.
What they had done was, the supervisor had done is, he had the schedule posted, and according to the following Monday, I was to go back with him, and I started having almost like panic attacks. I'm like, this guy is out to destroy me.
Right.
And so the guy I was working with, the good guy, he said, Ron, let's call the boss in. So we called him in, and he said, I want you to, he goes, before he gets in here, he said, I want you to stand up for yourself. All the stuff that you've told me over the past week, you tell him. Because from what I understand, everything you've been accused of, you sat there and just shut your mouth and took it.
Right.
So, long story short, boss came in and I said, I want you to sit there. And I said, I'm not being disrespectful or anything, but I am going to open up. And man, I had guns out firing. And
well, good for you, sir.
yeah, so bottom line is, I had to make a little adjustment with my schedule. They flipped me on the other weekend, but this new guy, he's so great. He is the goofiest son of a gun I've ever met in my life. He's so good stuff. But his skills as a clinician, as a nurse, could not ask for anybody better. He is good. He likes to communicate. You know, we come up with a plan, we discuss it, where the other guy, we wouldn't. And yeah, he's and I feel so much more at ease. And the best part is the person that the other medic that they switched me out with, she called me again the other day.
Right.
And we have a mandatory meeting the end of next week that we got to go to. And she called me again. She's like, Ron, any chance I could ride up there with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. She goes, well, I'd like to chat with you. I said, you don't sound happy. She goes, I'm not. So in a small way, I'm kind of glad to hear that. That tells me that now she's working with that guy and she's not happy.
Yeah. So
Feel bad for
basically,
her.
it's going to become known within the company. This guy's a problem child.
So we're seeing who the common denominator is.
Right.
For 6 weeks, it was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
All right, Mr. Murray, it's your turn. I take it the gentleman in the black sedan didn't show up after you called the FAA trying to relocate that guy with his drone.
He showed up and picked up the drone.
Oh, he did. So he was local, huh?
Well, he lives about 45 minutes away from me, west of me.
Okay, that's not bad.
And he's 70 years old.
Okay.
And he said that he was flying it down by the water, and all of a sudden it was a flyaway. It just took off, and he couldn't figure out where it went.
Isn't that what you last call was an Air 2S?
No, it was an Air 2.
Oh.
So it was the smaller camera.
Right. Right when they pulled the Air 2 up, it's like, oh shit, was that mine?
Well, the thing of it is a guy that Skip, my friend Skippy that comes on once in a while, is a guy he knows goes down there, and there's a diver that dives all the time out there, and he collects all of the heavy duty sinkers and weights and everything off the bottom and sells it to him. Well, the guy that Skippy knows was down there, and the guy came up with a drone, and he says, geez, I think I know who that is. So he drove down because I was flying down by the bridge, and he came down and got me. And so I followed him back to take a look at it, and it was laying down upside down and on the floor of the front seat. So when I looked in the window, the bottom of it, the Air 2S and the Air 2, they all look the same. But as soon as he picked it up and I looked at it, it was a smaller camera, and the guy's registration number was on the top. So yeah, so he was happy.
Yeah.
Send it back to DJI to fix.
Yeah. Does he have carry refresh or anything? Did you ask?
Well, no, he's had it 3 years since he bought it when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't have carry refresh. So he had the original carry refresh, but that expires after a year. So
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, good ending. The way you were shaking that battery around.
Oh man, the water was coming out of everywhere.
I tell you, Ron, if it had been a flashlight battery, it would have shocked Paul to death. He was shaking it around and doing this and doing that, and I'm like, we're all telling you, stop shaking it, Paul. Stop shaking it. You're talking about, there's a bunch of water in here still.
Yep. Well, in fact, when he came to pick it up, I had shaken pretty much, I thought, most of the water out of it. It was to the point where I was gonna, if he didn't come and get it, I was gonna stick it in the refrigerator and let the dehydration part of it, suck the water out. But he was standing there holding it out in the driveway, and the water was still weeping off his hand.
Hey, Dre, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Hold on, let me.
I got a quick question for you too, Dre. You figure out what you want to ask there, Ron. But are you going to get the Inspire 3?
No, but I'm probably looking for a full package Inspire 2 for a good price.
Okay.
That's the way I operate. I haven't bought a new car since 1985, so I don't buy too many new drones.
Well, the only reason I asked is because it's like $18,000 for the Inspire 3.
And that's the price range I predicted was going to be in between. I said right between the M30 and the M300.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ron. Sorry.
Dre, have you ever dealt with? I've got this Sony video camera that I bought about 1.5 years ago, and I barely used it. I had a purpose in mind for it. The whole project kind of fell through the cracks. But I kept the camera. It's pricey. It's a $3,500 camera. Shoots in obviously 4K, but there's a couple of formats that one format that it shoots in. It's supposed to be like TV quality format. Have you ever dealt with QFHD or XAVC QFHD.
XAVC.
XAVC, correct.
I've heard of that before. The other one I haven't. I've heard of XAVC, and I never dealt with it. I've just heard of it because I've seen it in software. Like when you render something, they'll give you all these different formats that you can render something that you edited in. And I've seen it come up before in the menu that you can render something in that format.
If I can.
It's a codec.
Yeah, basically it's a codec.
When did Justin disappear?
I think he had a burrito coming or something, David.
Yeah, he had a burrito binge going on.
I just noticed. I've been looking at a few emails and stuff. I come back. I was like, "Where'd he go?"
Yeah. So I've never played with it before because I've always used the standard codecs. Thank you.
I apologize, Dre. Have you ever heard of MXF format?
No. Never heard of that.
That's what it is.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've heard that one either.
I've heard of it, but I've not used it.
Yeah.
Have you done a Google search on it?
Like I say, like most of us, like I can say for what YouTube allows and Facebook allows and everything else, I just use the standard codecs that those platforms allow. And usually anything I upload for a client, it's going to be either JPEG for photos or RAW. What they do with the footage from there is up to them.
I don't know how well this will display, but this is from 50 yards away in slow motion. I was just testing it the other day. I had to learn how to do my God, it took me 3 hours to figure it out.
Wow.
Was that an A7R4, Ron?
No, this is the Sony Z90.
Oh, not familiar with that one.
Yeah. But I thought for 50 yards away, I said that's in slow motion. It's just a weed in the wind, but look how clear that.
I know. I'm looking at the edges of the plant there to see if there's any artifacts, and even here, we're using Zoom and all this kind of stuff. I don't see any artifacts at all.
Yeah.
So Jerry, I have an interesting question with the Inspire 3. Why not the Air Peak? Because
you know what, Air Peak doesn't fly
because Ron's already got the alpha camera, right? So it's not like he doesn't have a camera.
Only flies for like 12 minutes, I've been told.
Yeah. The flight time is the issue, but from a total cost and quality, okay, X9 versus a Sony alpha camera. I think I'll take the Sony full frame.
I'll tell you, Sony, the two that I've got so far was both of them. I'm taking to Alaska. I tell you, I'm liking them.
Yeah.
I've been a Nikon Canon guy most of my life.
Yeah, Hot Rod, I'm like a lot of folks like yourself and Ron. I'm always looking for the competition, and hopefully that will drive prices down. So I had high hopes for the X Dynamic Evolve 2. I had high hopes for the Sony Peak, but I heard when that was first announced that it was going to be expensive, but everybody really got let down by the battery time.
Yeah.
So, each one of those are, I think, especially the X Dynamics, it has a lot of potential, but they are still dragging their feet fixing all the bugs.
Yeah, the one they can't fix, and I literally just this morning or last night, Drone Supremacy. He did his Evolve 2, and the one issue I think they can't fix is the latency between the controller and the drone until they put a new chipset in.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That Evolve 2 has such potential. Like I say, I would say from the price point, you can't beat it from the price point. You're talking about a $3,500 drone, awesome controller unit that goes with it, and interchangeable lenses that are primarily, I think they use the Sony lenses also. I think you can attach on that thing.
The Olympus and Panasonic. It's the
Okay,
Micro
Olympus
Four
and
Third.
Panasonic,
It's
which
the
is still
Micro
not
Four
bad.
Third lenses.
Yeah, which is still not bad. I know
No,
the
not at all.
Panasonics were right there with Sony for a minute there with their camera lenses. So, you know, and like I say, from the price point, it would have really put a lot of pressure on DJI if they'd have came out the box swinging and hit it out the park, or even hit a triple. You know, we can live with a few things.
It's better
but-
than the Evolve one. It obviously got better. According to Drone Supremacy, over the year of them updating it, it's finally kind of getting there.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those where if the company survives, right?
Yeah.
And when they build the next one, the Evolve 3, if they sort of fix this latency issue and a few other things, they could be a player, right? And same thing with the Sony AirPeak.
Right.
Obviously, that
Before
was
we,
more for them making movies, and you know, when they come out with the AirPeak 2,
right?
Maybe it'd be $7,000 and fly for 20 minutes, right?
Can I just interrupt you two a minute before we forget about Ron's little issue? Ron, when you're using MXF files,
correct,
it's good to keep it in that format using Adobe Premiere and a couple of other editing programs, because it's got a lot more data stored in it.
Yeah, they said the
But when
file
you
size
come
is
to
like 4
upload,
times.
when you come to upload it, you'll need a converter to change it to MP4 or something. But you will get a higher quality video when you convert it.
The couple times that I did use it in that project that I was working on for that guy that fell through, when I did the footage, and I'm like, holy shit, this stuff is so crisp and clear, like I've never seen before. But I just put it aside, and I said it took me 2 days to learn how to use it again.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got a lot of camera knowledge, and it's like, holy crap, I'm going through books and YouTube videos.
Right.
So
not
while you're
finding much
editing,
information.
keep it in the while you're editing, keep it in the MXF format for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Once you convert it and then you start playing with it, you start losing a lot of the data.
I think what Ron has is something, you know, he takes the picture, the raw footage with that camera, it will push any of the format to its max. If he puts it in MP4 or either in the, what's the other one was coming used with the Apple?
ProRes.
Yeah, ProRes, whatever. It will push those formats to their max.
Really?
Because we all know that, you know, we use MP4 a lot and other ones. And that's why I say it's important to shoot in the highest footage level that you can. So you'll retain as much as you can through the process. Because you know, it's like anything else. You make a copy of a copy of a copy, it just degrades each time you change it over.
Yeah.
So you
That's
have
why-
more data to play with by shooting that other
That's
format.
what I was saying. The MXF
Well,
files.
we got to put it in American
hold
terms,
more
David. We
data.
don't understand that English jibber jabber you talk.
Right.
So-
MXF holds more data and doesn't lose it while you're playing around with it as much as an MP4 would.
Apparently it was a format, Dre. I pulled it up. It was a format, and this is probably why we haven't seen it, because we're not in the TV industry. It's
Right.
for delivering advertisements to TV stations. So it was a file format for delivering
Yeah.
the TV ads. And so unless you play in in that world, you probably
Right.
don't play with that file format much.
Okay. Well, I've been updated by everybody, except for you, David, sir. How's the housing situation, partner? Are we in a holding pattern still?
Yeah, still in the holding stage.
Well, you did get a date for getting out, right?
The courts have set a date for the 1st of May, but that's a public bank holiday. So we're not leaving on the 1st of May.
Right.
And it's likely the landlord would have to go back to the courts to get a proper eviction date, which takes up to 4 weeks. But
Okay.
we don't want it to get to that stage.
Right.
You know, we are telling the council. And the problem is now, we went to the estate agents yesterday. And all I said to him was, do you have any properties at all? The guy just went, there's no point you coming in. We will not be able to find you anywhere. He said, there's just nothing on our books. He says, we have lost 50% of the rental market in the last 2 years that they held. And he said, and they're not losing it to other companies because the rental side are losing it to their own sales side. So the landlords are going, nah, enough's enough, I'm off. And
They're not renting, they're selling them, right?
And they're going into then the first time buyers and all that sort of market. So in a sense, it's good that a lot more people are getting on the property ladder, but in the bad terms is there's no rental. And because there's no rental, no one's willing to risk moving. So no one wants to downsize or upsize. You know, they're all staying where they're put. You're getting people that have got a growing family. They're in a 2-bed property. They've got 4 children, but they will not move into a bigger property that they need because the risk of the rents going up and stuff like that is just not worth the hassle. So the whole market is just collapsing in on itself.
Well, folks, I'm about to get out of here. I'm glad I had a chance to catch up with everyone. I will try to get on in the morning, Mr. Murray, but you guys been cutting it short lately.
Yeah, we don't have too many people around, but tomorrow morning, give us a shot. I think usually Fridays we get pretty busy.
Okay, well, I'm out, folks. I will see you later.
Okay,
Good seeing you,
Dre.
Dre.
Hey, Dre, you still there?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask him, since he works in government in California. I was gonna ask him what he thought about the big floods down in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, talking about floods, have you seen what's about to hit Australia? A Category 3 cyclone. And you would think, you know, maybe a small area of Australia, but the whole Western Australia is going to be hit.
Oh boy.
It's the eastern side that's been flooding.
Hey, what would you guys think about having a drone instead of Florida, drone meetup here? This is where I was the other day. This is where I'd like to take everybody, especially the FPV guys. This is where I was Easter Sunday last weekend.
Does that have hotels and stuff nearby?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I can't see why not. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Forget the drone meetup. I just want to go there on my own.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a real windy road and pretty cool.
Well, I think if you promote it, you'll get a bunch of people to show up.
I'll tell you what, if you would merge them 2 roads around at the far end, that'd be a hell of a racetrack.
It would. Oh, Paul,
Just see an
before I
F1 car going around that.
Yeah, before I forget, I hooked the 2 up this morning by phone.
Oh, good.
And she called me back and very, very productive.
Good. Well, did you talk to your friend afterwards? What did he say?
No, I haven't called him. I'll probably call him after I talk to you guys, but she
Okay.
was really pleased. They actually learned things from each other.
Well, they're
Yeah.
both veterans, you know.
Yep.
And I think it's good.
Yeah. So I feel good about connecting the 2 together.
So, Ron, I think to answer your question, I think we need one on the West Coast somewhere.
Yeah, well, this is the Midwest. So, like I said, I don't want to step on Ray's toes. I know, you obviously were at the last one there last weekend, and it's becoming more popular every year.
Yeah, but you're not stepping on. You're not going to host it at the same day as him.
No,
are
I
you?
wouldn't host at the same time, but
You know,
I guess you got a question: would people be interested or afford make 2 trips in 1 year?
There's kind of 2 parts to that question, Ron. Well, one of it is obviously the people that go there, how many of them would go to the other location? And then the other part of it is how many people are not going to Florida who would go to
Because it's too far.
something that's a little further west kind of thing.
Let me ask you this, Rod. You would, just to give you logistics of it.
So where is that place? What state?
It's in Wyoming.
Okay.
If you fly, you could fly either into Rapid City, South Dakota, or Gillette, Wyoming. Gillette, Wyoming is a lot closer, but sometimes a little more expensive. But Gillette is about an hour drive to the town of Buffalo, Wyoming. Yeah, really, yeah, because it takes me an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, what's happening on that water behind you?
So the other day when I was in Buffalo, I saw they had I want to say it was a
on the big screen.
Holiday Express or something, but it was a huge hotel in a small
It's a ship going down the river.
Yeah, but if you look on the water back towards the bottom of your screen, is it raining or something?
No, it's windy. The current is going downstream at 7 miles an hour. And so the wind is coming up here and it's causing the ripples on the water.
So my question to you, Rod, is, like I said, the drive from the airport to the town where you would stay is about an hour. From the hotel, literally within 5 minutes, you're starting up through the mountain. And I was on with Paul the other day, showing him the scenery, literally 5 minutes from the hotel. And it's nothing but scenery the whole way up. That location there is about 45 minutes to an hour drive.
I think the other thing as well, Paul, Ron, you're actually going to get a different clientele to your location than you are to
Florida
one. The Florida one, you know, yes, they were there for flying drones, but a lot of them were like boisterous and wanted a drink and stuff like that. You're not going to get that where you're going. You're going to get the proper drone flyers, the ones that want the scenic scenes.
You can drink there. There's.
Yeah, I know.
How many? Did you go to Spin Down, Ron?
You
With Oz's thing at Spin Down that he did there in Colorado? Did you go to that one? How many people showed up to it?
It's kind of along the same lines of this type of scenery.
So the big thing is really infrastructure, right? You talked about the airports. Well, great. How many people are going to show up and how many rental cars do they actually have at the airport for people to rent? And same thing with the hotel. How many hotel rooms are there? That kind of controls the size of how big your event potentially could be.
Hotel, I think, could accommodate, but rental cars, yeah, I'd have to look into that.
And
Or the other
obviously
option is
flights
to
going
hire a
into
bus.
places too. So
Yeah.
the advantage of Florida, there's how many airports and how many
Yeah,
hotels
there's a lot, and there's hotels everywhere,
and there's rental cars everywhere because
and there's restaurants, and there's
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that town, it's not huge. They've got 2 or 3 really good restaurants. They have 3, I know of at least 4 hotels. One is big. It's a big place. But I said, I don't know. It's just a thought.
The thing is, Ron, what you
I
can
don't
look at
know
it
if I
and
want
go,
to into it that Ray does.
but Ron, you could look at it and go, right, this is the location of the meetup. It's going to be at the hotel. Yeah. And you have that, what you've just shown, say, on day 2, this is where I want you all to come and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your big meetup, and then those that don't want to travel an hour in the car, they don't have to.
Right.
Or they may be able to get a lift from someone that's come in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you have the meetup in the hotel, and then you have your different locations, you know, I just think where you're going to hold it, you're going to get a different bunch of people. Like you said, like Ron said, you're not the other Ron. You're not gonna, you're not getting the same people because, like, some will go to both,
Yeah,
and some won't.
it would probably be a thing where I would suggest to people, it's like, you know what, don't take a weekend, take 4, 5, 6 days, maybe 2 of your days, plan it and drive another 4 hours, go to Yellowstone National Park. You can't fly your drone there, but you can fly outside there. There's a lot of places you can fly outside. There's let me see, here's again, I'm just trying to get opinions, but
Well, yeah, well, that's important is to get a feel of,
right.
you know, just because you have an idea and you got to get a feel for how many other people would like to see that, you know?
Right. Here is, Paul, if I could just show a couple.
Sure.
Couple minute clip of, here it is. My buddies from Pennsylvania came out and, I took them on, they come out to Sturgis, but we took, this is about, anywhere from, 1 to 4 hours from where the hotel would be. But this is the scenery, and a lot of this you can fly in. It's outside of National Park. Here's screening. This is just last summer. Is it showing?
Yeah.
Yep. Can't hear you, Laura. All I hear is a mumble.
Laura?
Was that Laura talking?
No, that was Ron's video singing, I think.
Oh, it was the video.
There's a 10,000, 11,000 feet there. Here's the Devil's Tower.
Yeah, it's not playing, Ron.
It's not playing, Ron.
It's not?
No.
Why the hell? How the hell
We've just got Sturgis 2022. There you go.
Playing now?
Yeah, I just think it's got a long start up.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
So there's kind of 2 things to think about, Ron.
Yeah.
You're thinking about one part of it, which is just the beauty and people flying, right?
Right.
One of the big things of the get together, and we kind of all talk about it at the Florida thing. There's not a ton of flying that goes on. There was probably a little more this year than there was the first 2 years, but it's really about sort of the socializing and just hanging out with guys getting together with guys that you see online and chat with all the time.
Okay.
So I get the concept of everybody would fly kind of thing. Maybe, but there's a big social aspect to getting that many people together as well.
All right. Yeah, I guess now you think about it. Yeah.
But I don't disagree. I'd love to go fly all that. Looks great, right?
Yeah. I said it's just an idea. But
no,
yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
It is a more of a social event, you know.
It's like Mark Fisher, right, from the Rhode Island guys, and Ray and them. You know, the Rhode Island guys have something up there in New England,
right?
That they're doing. So there's nothing wrong, literally nothing wrong with having multiple of these events spread around,
right?
Just as long as they don't step on each other, pretty much. But just realize it's not just about the flying; it's as much about sort of the social and hanging out as it is the flying.
Yep, maybe you're right. So maybe I'll just bag that idea.
No, there's been lots of talk. Bill from Coast to Coast has talked about something on the West Coast as well. So maybe you should talk to him.
Yeah. Who was it that did have an interest? Bill Renane, him and his wife want to come out this way sometime.
Yeah, there's obviously you guys, you're west of the Mississippi, so you get the entire West Coast audience to come to something like that. So
But yeah, you got a really strong point though. It is more about the socializing and getting together. And
Yeah, you
you know,
get to meet the people you talk to all the time, you know?
they,
You
like I said,
know,
that hotel was
reach out to Sean Oz, Ron, because he did the whole spin down thing. So maybe have a conversation with him. He could give you a little more insight.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have Sean's number.
Right, because they went up in what 11,000 feet
Yeah.
up there for that event. But you know how much of that event was social versus flying?
Yeah. I mean, like where that one spot was that I showed you, it takes an hour to drive up there, but they could stop and fly so many places on the way up.
Sure.
And then, you know, by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, they could be back down the hill and back at the hotel.
Of course, everybody's got to take food and water with them, right? Because there's probably nothing up there.
There isn't.
So that's another part from a organizing event kind of thing.
Yeah.
Talk to Sean. See what he did with the whole.
Well, yeah, and the
spin
other
down
thing, the other thing that Sean could probably tell you, Ron, is if he had to do it again, what were the pluses and what were the minuses? What would he do over? How would he do it over? You know,
Yeah.
because it's a learning process.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, like Ray's retired. He has a lot of extra time on his hands. He had all those. I mean, from my understanding, you know, he has a lot of time. He made a lot of contacts and had all kinds of people there and donations. And I just don't know if I have the time to do all that. You know.
Well, I think it's a big job. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
There's like 5 of them on the committee that work that thing. So you have to think about who you would have help you do that, right?
Yeah.
Don't think of it as just you, because you're right, it's too much for one.
Yeah.
You know, Sean didn't do that event by himself, right? Kelly and obviously all the people behind Kelly, you know, with Spin Down, we're helping Sean, I'm sure, or Spin Up, we're helping Sean sort of organize the Spin Down piece. So Sean didn't do that sort of in a vacuum by himself either. So
Right. Well, like I said, it's not like it was a goal of mine. It was just a thought. And
no, I think it's a great idea. There's been several people from the West Coast that have talked about trying to get something for the West Coast. So that location of Wyoming is as good as any of them, right?
Right.
I mean, hell, you got Marcus, who's up in Idaho. It's not like he's far. It's not like he's far away.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people have gone, God, we'd love to have an event at, like, you know, out there at the Snake River Canyon kind of thing.
Right.
Lots of places to have some event for out there on the West Coast, and we should, because there's people that will come to both, and then there's ones that are on the West that, you know, don't want to fly all the way to Florida. So, you know, having an event out there for that group would be great.
Right.
But it's going to be a job.
Right. You know, it's like I don't know when Mark does his Rhode Island thing, but, you know, ironically, being that close to New England, you would think the best time to do something like that would be in the fall.
Yeah.
And so I suppose you could always reach out to him, see when they do that. But I mean, an East Coast versus the West Coast thing probably doesn't matter too much. Right. They're not going to compete with each other even if they're on the same weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think you're going to get the same audience. I don't think you're going to get the same audience.
Yeah. Maybe
I agree.
Get a drone meetup to go to Alaska.
Oh, you know how many people would go to that? Marcus has talked about wanting to go to Alaska to fly as well.
Well, maybe what you ought to do, Ron, is put together a tour offering and let people sign up for it. In other words, like you have a connection for where you're going to go, how many people can go, what it's going to cost, all of those kinds of things, and let them get reservations to it.
Yeah.
Actually, I know somebody probably could help you and probably would be interested in doing it, Ron. And that would be Bob from Old Farts.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because he's in Vegas. So he's not far away.
Isn't he trying to do
A boat tour thing in Alaska.
Alaska cruise or something? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's Alaska cruise. Yeah.
But I think that fell through, didn't it?
I haven't heard.
I think it did.
But he would be another good source for how he was trying to put that together, right?
Yeah.
And his group being out there, that would be, a good chunk of the audience potentially to come to someplace like that.
Yeah.
All those guys could drive up from Vegas.
I had, one person from YouTube and three friends, different visits from the East Coast, my old hometown area in Pennsylvania. And all of them, when they left, they said this was beyond my expectations. Was their exact words. Everyone.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how much they liked it. Especially my buddies last summer, I had them up at it was like 11:07. We were up at the top of Beartooth Pass. Air was a little thin. It's about 50 degrees in the middle of August, early August. It should have been 90, but we're up there in jackets and gloves and everything. But the scenery, they're like, holy crap. They're standing there. They couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Or if you really want to go for the gusto, do one in Hawaii.
Yeah. I have a friend in Maui I stay with when I go.
Yeah, I got a friend out there as well on Maui.
Yep.
And the funny part of it is it snows in Hawaii.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. It snows in Hawaii on the top of the mountain.
Yep. I've been in there in snow up there. And,
Yeah, because there's a big thing about snow, ski Hawaii.
Yeah. And you go up there and watch the sunrise up over the volcano. It's pretty cool.
So that'd be another location for somebody to do. I think a lot of people would want to go out there.
Yeah.
And it's like Florida. It's a tourist place, so lots of hotels, lots of restaurants, lots of cars, lots of flights. Easy place to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in fact, I've got a clip on my YouTube page.
And you have quite the variation of things to fly, right? Because you can go up on the volcanoes and fly around the volcanoes. So you got the mountains, and then obviously go down to the ocean and fly around the beaches.
Hey, JDS.
And the chances are you might see whales.
Yeah.
Because they're there all year long.
This one.
Oh, and the surfers.
Oh, hold on. No, it's the other one. Yeah, I have a clip.
So my suggestion is talk to Bob, talk to Sean, talk to Bill from Coast to Coast, because Bill's been watching his shows. He's been talking to people about thinking about trying to organize an event. So I think a West Coast thing somewhere would be great.
Yeah. Here's just a short clip when I was heading up Mount Haleakala, and this is day after Christmas, I think. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
They have me going up at sunrise. Yeah, Haleakala. The sunrise, top of the volcano. up above the clouds.
Half
You
the
know,
fun
the
of watching
closest we-
everybody's videos is seeing other parts of the planet.
Yeah.
The closest we have to anything so
Oh, yeah, that
beautiful
was
as this, what you're showing,
That was the cutest little Mrs. Claus I've ever met.
yeah, the closest we have to anything as beautiful that what you're showing is our monitor screens and YouTube.
Mm.
Oh, you guys all go to Gibraltar or the Maldives?
Yeah.
Well, you got Tenerife.
I remember that girl there. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Would you like to be on YouTube?" She goes, "Sure." I said, and on top of that, I said, "You got to be the cutest little Mrs. Claus I've ever seen." Oh, like, you know, I'm filming her. You know,
Yeah, well, let's not talk about Ron in the hot tub and the girl.
yeah.
Ron and the hotties.
That's right. You remember that night, Rod?
Yeah. Everybody remembers that night that was watching.
Christmas Eve in the hot tub chick.
Let's just say Ron, I think let Ron shield down that night a little bit.
Yeah.
He was a little relaxed and having a little fun.
Oh yeah. The scenery was nice in the background, and
Yeah, the scenery was nice. All right. Yeah.
I think the funniest thing she said when she goes, "Who's that Australian guy trying to talk like somebody from Texas?" It was Chris Hope.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh, it was funny because Chris was trying to do his Australian accent. Apparently, he was doing that better in his Texas accent.
So.
Man.
So don't give up on your idea. I think you should just hook up with some of the other folks that have been talking about it. Because seriously, we need a West Coast event somewhere out there, and throw a dart. You could pick anything, and they would all be great locations.
Yeah. Bad, I'm not paying attention to the chat. Drone shots with JDS. Laura, Arizona Street Media.
But you haven't missed anything with Laura.
He's having fun with the camera. Good. Glad to hear it, buddy.
I mean, I can think of a place that nobody's even talked about.
Oh, drone shot.
That would be good. Salt Lake City, Ron.
Mm.
All the mountains and the lake there.
Oh.
Lots of stuff to go video and
Yeah.
fly.
Kind of like
I suppose over here we got the benefit of the historical buildings, you know, the
Yes.
castles and all that, but we
Yep.
do not have we have some nice countryside and stuff, but we do not have the waterfalls and volcanoes that you guys have got.
Well, you also have the monarchy too.
I beg your pardon.
David's not a big proponent of the monarchy.
I don't mind them. I just don't like how hypocritical they can be. You know what? You can, if you've got someone that's had his title stripped from him for being a suspected, got to say that, suspected sex offender. He's had all his titles, his military honors ripped from him, yet he can parade in public along with the king and the queen and everyone else, laughing and joking like it's nothing. And yet Harry, who's renounced his title, still has it in the bank. He's renounced it. He's moved to America. He's doing his own thing. And yet he can't. I just don't think it's right.
here you go, Rod. There's
And Paul, over the next 2 weeks, we're not going to hear the end of it with the royal family.
yep, okay, here we go.
With the
Oh
with the
yeah,
king.
it's going to go on and on and on, buddy.
We got a whole weekend of it. They've moved football, and then they're having a big pop concert. I mean, what's a pop concert got to do with a king?
Here you go, Rod. This is on the way to Salt Lake.
Yeah. And you know, the reality is, Ron, anywhere around the Rocky Mountains,
Oh,
right?
look at that.
Pick a spot and you can fly. There's something great to look at.
I love how
You know what? I bet the nature around there is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. This is Interstate 80 that
Yeah.
runs all the way across the U.S.
Oh, who
Yep.
ruined it by putting that in there?
But the mountain scenery is just beautiful.
Tell you what, just riding along that interstate would just be amazing.
Oh, wait to see this little picture at the end. This is true about the antelope here in Wyoming.
Can you climb that?
Entering the highway at 55 mile an hour. Those things can move.
I mean, look at that. That's just a road, and there's nothing on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one in the south that goes across the panhandle in Texas. Other than Amarillo, everything else is tumbleweed.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing there, just like that picture.
Yep.
It's like drive outside of Vegas, that's what you see.
It's like we're what's his name?
Oh, Laura shared another shot.
Arizona Street Media out there, St. George, Utah. Oh my God, it's beautiful out there.
Oh yeah, the western side of the mountain, of the Rocky Mountains out there.
I don't regret
gorgeous area.
I don't regret it at all. I don't miss it. You know, when I was back in the East Coast, Rod, in February, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go back.
Sure.
Day of being there in the traffic and yeah.
No, I'm with you. I grew up in the country.
Yeah. Well,
Laura, I've just realized something about your eyes. The green at the bottom and blue at the top. The hell's going on with this freaky in this video? Oh, thank God for that.
well, Paul, I'm gonna go finish getting ready for work. And,
Well, Ron, thanks for sharing those videos.
David wants me to share a video here, so
I don't want you to share anything.
I'm going to go ahead and acquiesce to David asking us to share that video.
See, this is the other advantage of being
Anyways,
an American.
I'm gonna take off as well.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Have a good evening.
Okay, yeah, I'd like it as well if I were you.
there's no need to be.
Bite? Yeah, but do you stab? I don't bite. There's no need to be afraid of me. I don't bite. Yeah, but do you stab? I don't bite. There's no need to be afraid of me.
Fucking hell.
That's what David wanted me to share.
No, I did not.
That's
See,
okay,
this-
David.
this
You
is
can
what I
take
was
credit.
saying.
David, you got to take credit for things.
No, this is the advantage of being American. You have a shotgun at the side here, and you can use it at any time.
Why David says don't encourage her.
I don't bite.
Don't bite.
Okay, everybody. Well, I guess we're going to sign off. We've been at it now for almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay.
Well, that's the point. I'm up in a couple of hours.
Okay.
I've got a doctor.
All right, everybody. Hey, have a great evening. We'll see all of you again next time.
Just before you quickly before you go, we've been on the housing register tonight because it's bidding day, you know, where they put them all up. And finally, after 6 months, there's a property we can bid on.
All right. Well,
So-
good luck to you.
So keep your fingers crossed. We are third in the list, and it means the top 3 gets offered it. Obviously the person at the top gets it first, and if they say no, goes down to the next one, and then it goes down to us.
All right.
So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay. Fingers crossed for you, David. Everybody, hey, thanks for being here. We'll see you, Ron. Don't work too hard.
Yep, we'll see you maybe over the weekend.
Okay. All right. See
Take
you,
care,
Ron.
Ron. Take care,
Bye-bye.
Paul.
Bye-bye, David and Laura.
Bye.
And everybody in the chat, thanks.